Hey there. Sorry, it's been a long time, but I'm finally here with my wolf anatomy tutorial, and this is going to be very exciting for me. Alright then, let's start. So at first I'm drawing the head very quickly and just a basic shape. I won't explain any details about it because I already made enough tutorial videos about that. In this video I will mainly focus on the rest of the body. This one is going to look right at us, right straight at us, and I also made a specific video about this position from the front view, but also many others from pretty much from any perspective, and also different expressions like howling and growling. So yeah, and also in this video I'm not going to tell you any long stories or about some articles or something like that, but instead I will sprinkle in here and there some little interesting facts about wolves. Like, for example, the origin of wolves was what researchers think is that it was 1 million years ago. The grey wolf originated in Eurasia, and about 750 years ago or something like that, it migrated over the land bridge between Asia and North America, which back then was much bigger, and this is how they got over the continents. Okay, so this is pretty much the basic shape of the head, and I'm now going to explain you the body. So what I'm planning is I want to draw the body from the side, and he's just looking to the left right at us. To explain you a little bit more about the structure, I'm going to at first make a quick sketch of how the body is structured when looked from above. So this is the head circle again, and I have here the neck, and the neck is about as long as the head circle, maybe a little bit shorter. And here I make a mark where the rest of the spine is going to be, and I will take 3 steps of the head size, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more, and this is the length of the spine itself. And then we would have the tail, but it's not that important right now. And we will draw an oval for the chest, like here. I make it very rough, and I'm not following any specific measures, just approximately where it is, the size. And also these circles here for the butt, pretty much. Okay, and the shoulders will start right next to the spine. And what I'm doing is I simplify it very much in just these dots and lines, pretty much. So the shoulders are going to separate. They're going away from the spine and a little bit forward. And this would be the shoulders, and then the rest of the bones, which I'm going to show you very soon. And down here pretty much the same, just mirrored. And this is the basic shape from above, so to give you a little bit more understanding about how the body is structured. And so we are going to do that. So because the head is turned to the left, most of the neck is actually hidden behind the head, and so only a short portion, only a short line we have here for its neck. And sorry, my hand is getting sweaty, and because of that I'm still with the glove moving the canvas. It's annoying. But yeah, So we have again here the 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. I'm not exactly measuring it, but just approximately. Okay, and we go down here for the tail. Alright, so we are drawing this oval here for the chest, and this is much bigger than the head itself, like about so. And it goes a little bit, I draw it mostly a little bit above the spine. And for the thighs, but we have a longer oval, thinner but longer, and you can see it goes a little bit down, more down than the chest oval. And depending on what kind of position your back leg is, this oval will also rotate. In this case, it's a little bit more rotated to the left, because I plan to draw this side, the side that is closer to us, this side's legs, a little bit forward, and the other side a little bit backwards, so it's like the wolf is walking. Alright, so we will again draw the leg bones, and we start with the shoulders. We have this shoulder blade, this short line here, and this here would be like the equivalent of our upper arm. Like we have the shoulder blade and here the upper arm, and then we continue to the lower arm, so the radius and the ulna. And this one is much longer than the head circle. And here, which is important, with this one, it would be like the equivalent of the middle part of the hand. And when the wolf is standing, just normally on the ground, then it's a little bit more forward than this one. It's not continuing straight down like this, and this is a common mistake. I certainly did it, and it looked much better once I figured it out. Then we have here on the back side now this leg here. Sorry, the paw, the toes are very simplified. I draw it in a very simple way because this is all we need for just drawing them. If you're interested a little bit more about how that looks actually, like if this would be like the middle part of the hand or the foot, and these would be like the toes, and they are angled in a very, for us, a very strange way. We humans wouldn't be able to do that. Like you would break something, normally at least. But wolves, they walk or run on their toes actually. But what they have is also these paw pads. I just draw them in a very stupid simplified way. So let's continue with the legs now. So we are at the back side here, and I draw this bone here, which is going almost to the border of this of this oval. And the shape of the back leg is a little bit different. It's more angled, and so this one is going a little bit forward. So it's this bone here is moved a little bit into this direction, and then we have this part here, and it's much longer than at the front. And we have the paw. So now we are going to draw the other set of legs. I'm just taking this point because of the other side, because of our sideways perspective. It's pretty much the same. And this one, as I mentioned before, is a little bit to the back. And again, this part is a little bit angled forward. Like so. And at here, we have the same. It's a little bit more to the back. And now, what is important, if the leg is more to the back, then this goes way much more up. And this part here, this bone here, is pretty much going straight upwards. This is how they are normally angled. This is the basic skeleton structure. In this video will be the first time that I will do a two-step sketch. Like, at first we have the skeleton, and now I'm going to lower the opacity and put a little bit of flesh and skin on it, you know, and draw just the basic form of the wolf itself. I'm going to start with the neck, and this is starting right at the border of this head circle, here and here. And let's start with this leg here. What I'm doing is normally I draw these circles, these small circles here, and draw a rectangle. And for the paws, what I do is simply draw these ovals, these long ovals, 2 of them from this perspective. Of course there are 4 toes, but yeah. And this is a very basic way to simplify it. And well, I give it a little bit more shape and also a little bit fur, like you can see the paw pad just a little bit down here, and some short claws. And they also have an additional pad right here at the ankle, which is called the carpal pad, if I remember correctly. And the purpose of this pad is to act like a additional brake mechanism, like when they are on slippery surface or something like that. Then it provides a little bit more additional friction to stop. At least this is what I read. So, sorry for the moving. Okay, and we will continue with the back side. Again, I'm starting with the legs that are closer to us. And this one is a little bit longer. Here, pretty much the same. But the back legs don't have this additional pad or additional claw, which I'm going to also mention later. So, very quickly, just the shape. And now, for the shape of the leg, what I'm doing is, well, here it's pretty much very simple, like just like this. And what I'm doing here is I continue this line a little bit over this circle and then angle it, bend it like this. In just a small way, and then it immediately starts to curve along this butt oval, as I now call it. Alright. And this also follows more or less this shape. This is basically how to draw that. Now that we have these 2 legs, I can also easily draw the belly. And the wolf I'm drawing is more of a grey wolf anatomy, or Arctic wolf, whatever. And they have a very strong and thick build, especially so they can survive in the cold. Now I'll continue with the back. This is very flat here. Wolves have, well, did you know that wolves have 2 layers of fur? Well, the first layer is for repelling water or dirt, while the other layer, the lower layer, is for insulation, so they can survive better in the cold. And when it's getting summer, then they lose the second layer, and wolves lose it in a way that they lose large tufts of fur, and it looks kind of messy If you don't know better, then in summer you could think that it has some sort of disease or something else. But don't worry, it's just losing its winter coat. So yeah, also to tail and the top, it's like more flat because of the gravity. The hair is just laying flat, and on the lower side it's a little bit more separated, looks a little bit more fluffier. So let's continue with the other legs. Just quickly and simple. Another interesting fact is, and this is not just only for wolves, but pretty much for many animals, at least mammals, that the radius and the ulna, like these two bones that we have here in the lower arm, like we can rotate it with our hands, but wolves or legs, they can't, because this provides more stability. Yeah, so this makes sense. So okay, I'm right here again with the front leg, and from this perspective we can also see the additional claw, which is called the Dewclaw, right here. Wolves have that, and also cats. And the purpose of that is to give it better grip when holding onto something. Kinda like a thumb, actually. Not as developed as our thumbs, obviously, but it's very similar. Okay, and what's left is only this leg now. Another interesting fact is that wolves have some slight webbing between their toes. They need that when they walk on snow. So they spread their toes, and this prevents them from sinking into the snow too much. Like they just have more surface on which they walk on, and so the weight is getting distributed a little bit more evenly. This is also kind of interesting, but I don't know about the other wolf races that are located in the warmer areas, if they have that too. But at least in the cold areas, the grey wolf, the Arctic wolf, they have that. But yeah, this is the basic shape of the wolf. I think I haven't forgotten anything. And yeah, this may not be the perfect way to draw a wolf, I don't know, but it works. It pretty much looks like a wolf in my opinion. But of course, if you know some flaws about this technique, then again you can always tell me. I would be very glad, I would be very thankful for that. So I'm not going to make some additional sketches about the head, because I mentioned before I already did enough tutorials about that, and this is just about the body. So right now I'm going to start with the fast forward. I will do everything, also the outlining and the coloring, and when I'm done I get back to you. Alright, we are done. And again, I drew it in a very comic-like style. And as always, I tell you that you can, of course, draw it in whatever style you want to. What I gave you is just a basic set of techniques how to draw a wolf, and the rest is up to you. Thank you so much for watching. So this was it with the basic wolf series. And next up will be some special booths of video games and movies and stuff. And I'm really excited about it. Really looking forward to draw these. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, if you have any questions, feedback or requests from me, then please let me know in the comment section. Alright then, have fun drawing.